The Olympics, now, that's quite the racket. I don't know what committee is getting together to put these sports together. Now, I assume it's the same group of people that decided to look at a pizza pie and say, you know what, I think I know what this needs, some citrus fruit, and slap some pineapples on a perfectly good pizza. Because if you look at these sports, they just make absolutely zero sense. I mean, take the biathlon, for example. This is insane. They've decided to take cross-country skiing, which is already completely irrelevant and just doesn't need to exist. And they said, you know what might make this a little more interesting? Hills would be the obvious answer, but no. Rifles. That's what's going to do it. We're going to strap rifles on the back of every cross-country skier. We're going to call it the biathlon. Why, you ask? No idea, but let's do it. In fact, it gets even crazier because there are people in the world right now who are experts in the biathlon. They commentate this stuff like it's the Super Bowl. Unbelievable. Never understand it, the biathlon. Gets even a little more strange from there because, we have runners, people who jog, people who sprint. But no. The Olympics takes it a step further. We've got speed walking. Have you ever seen speed walking? The most strange sport on the planet has to be speed walking. They're not running. They're definitely not jogging. These people have mastered the art of walking fast without having both feet off the ground. Now, the mental gymnastics that an Olympian who doesn't win has to go through to go out in public, to go to a party, and talk about the fact they've got this interesting anecdote. I was in the Olympics, but I didn't win. If you're a 100-meter dash person, completely fine. It's at least cool. You're very fast. You're fit. It's awesome. Imagine being a speed walker, walking into a party. They're like, hey, what's interesting about you? It's like, oh, well, I was an Olympian. Oh, my gosh. Did you meet Usain Bolt? No. I'm a speed walker. Well, did you win? Well, no, I didn't speed walk that fast. Just the whole thing just doesn't make any. There are people right now who have spent hours mastering speed walking. I mean, they were devastated that the Tokyo Olympics were postponed because they couldn't speed walk at the Olympics. Could you imagine the scientific breakthroughs if the same people who spent so much time speed walking actually put their minds to something useful, like maybe, curing anything? But nope, speed walking is where we're at the Olympics. Doesn't make any sense. And it gets even more strange because there's the luge. Now, the luge is the strangest sport. I'm convinced this thing takes absolutely no skill. You lay down on a sled, and they basically tell you at the beginning, all you got to do is point your feet. You point your feet, you're good. And you have the most exhilarating, fastest roller coaster you've ever been on. It's just straight ice, people. It is the luge. You strap a skin-tight suit on, and you just go. I mean, they say this thing will whip your hair back if you don't have a helmet on. The aerodynamics of the pointed feet. I mean, you're on a sled that's about 3 inches off the ground. You can feel the coldness of the ice. It's absolutely insane. Your life is never the same after the luge. In fact, the luge is so crazy, it's the same sport if you do it voluntarily and involuntarily. You can just throw people down that hill, and they're still breaking records even though they didn't want to. But there was a day, there's a guy who got to the bottom of the luge hill, and it was insane. His hair's whipped back. His eyes are beady. He's had an experience that is unmatched on this planet. Gets off his sled. He stands up. His buddy's like, hey, how was that? He's like, man, that was insane, but I know what might make this a little better. He's like, Jimmy, slap this skin-tight suit on. We're going to try something. Buddy's like, okay, well, what are we going to do? He's like, we're going to do the two-man luge. It's like, all right, and Jimmy sits down on the sled. He's like, no, Jimmy. I need you to lay. Jimmy's like, well, if I lay, how are you going to get on? It's like, it's a sport, my man. I'm going to lay right on top of you. All you got to do is point your feet. We're good to go.